Welcome to Doughboys Double. I'm Nick Weiger right here with the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell.
Mitch.
My good boy.
Dough.
Merry Domus. Many Christmas trees
sound like
to you,
Homer
my friend.
We sound like Homer.
Sound like Homer after
finding three mistakes.
bowling 3 gutter balls.
Don't. That would work. But we were saying like dough, like Santa.
Like Santa, yeah, that was the reference, not Homer J.
Mm-hmm.
Though two of our most famous, corpulent figures from pop culture.
Homer J.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Santa's middle name?
I don't know if we know Santa's middle. Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, well, we know that.
Jolly old
His first
Saint
name
Nick.
isn't Saint, and his middle name isn't Nick.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is Santa's middle name?
What is Santa's
Guess
middle
what?
name?
We're giving it up to you, the viewers, the listeners. You can decide what Santa's middle name is.
So whoever has the best guess for what Santa's middle name is or should be, will pick a winner, and you will be featured on a future episode, along with your pitch for Santa's middle name.
And on top of that, we'll send you, and by we, I mean Amelia or Emma will send you a package with candy canes, M&Ms, and a bunch of other loose candies in the box.
And as a special bonus, you'll get to legally change your middle name to what Santa's middle name is.
Also,
it's all for you, right here on patreon.com/doughboys.
Also, one M&M will be rotten.
So look out for that rotten M&M when you're going through your prize pack, because one of them will make you sick.
Sick?
It's a rotten M&M.
Well, there's one of them is rotten, I thought. Well,
I
whatever.
wouldn't want to eat a fucking rotten M&M.
That's good stakes, I feel like. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if someone comes up with a good Santa's nickname.
I met a guy who
talk right outside our door.
I met a guy who survived botulism recently. It's fucking insane.
Wow.
He was in a coma. It's like a horrible disease. Like, yeah, it's and
how do you get it?
I just food. You can just get it from like food, right? Like it's just like
I've heard of it from like bad cans
like bad
and
meat.
stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I just don't know how in this year.
Was this guy eating at your restaurant?
Yeah, at my unsanitary restaurant. You got me, Mitch. We need to be Gordon Ramsay. The crew is here at the producer's desk. Emma and Casey, as always, and Amelia's here right now. Hi, Amelia. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
We made you do this because of your thoughts on Red One, which we'll get into. But just before we started recording, you used to work in a movie theater, and you were telling us this story about you had a celebrity sighting while you were working there.
I used to work at a movie theater, and one day Bill Clinton and his Secret Service came.
Wow.
And I started freaking out so much and telling everybody, Bill Clinton is here, Bill Clinton is here. And the manager was like, Amelia, you have to calm down. Like, if you can't pull it together, can you please remove yourself? And I was like, yeah, I need to go upstairs. So I left. And I think he went to go see Tully.
Wow.
I love it.
That's great.
And when I told you this story earlier, Mitch, you want to tell everybody what you said?
I said, one for Blue Velvet. I hope it's the dress. That's what I was.
Yeah, like the movie he was seeing was
Monica's
David Lynch's
dress.
Classic Blue Velvet, but instead he was hoping that it was going to be Monica's dress so he could jack off.
Yeah.
Come onto the dress.
Because he definitely just jacked off for the dress, not
for sure.
for the
That's what. No, it's the material. It's the fabric.
Yeah. That's why I thought he maybe would say.
I love this movie, Tully. I remember I saw it back on a private plane.
Oh, but my good friend passed.
Oh, real sad.
Oh, Jeffrey.
You got a raw deal, Jeffrey.
You know what I think they should? You know what I think they should do with Epstein Island? I told you this. They should give to Theo Epstein.
Yes,
the
Theo
manager,
Epstein, the manager of
not the manager, but the GM of the
general
Red
manager
Sox.
of the Boston Red Sox. Yes.
So instead
Legendary
of
front office
you put
figure.
a good. Now it's a good spin. There's home runs.
I thought you were going to
It's
say
an island with home runs. There's none of the bad stuff.
It'll be a lot of fun. You put a you put a ballpark down there. I thought you were going to say they should make
The stocking fell. They wanted out of the video.
It's still up. It's still up.
Oh, it's still
gaffer
up.
tape isn't. We have some stockings for audio listeners as part of the holiday tableau here, and they are just barely holding on by gaffer tape. I thought you were gonna say that they should turn it into Jurassic Park, which would be interesting.
I
Because
like
you got
that.
this big vacant space. So why not just fucking go for it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they should just turn it to Jurassic Park.
And then if you're at Jurassic Park, you get like with someone, you'd be like, this used to be Epstein Island? What? Fucking crazy.
There's a new one coming out. There's a new Jurassic Park coming out.
I thought you meant like a new Epstein.
There's a new Epstein coming out. Diddy's the new Epstein, kind of, in a way, I guess.
So. Yeah, I guess
Diddy's the new Epstein.
Diddy's the new Epstein.
There's a new dino movie coming out. Some sort of dino estate.
It's
some sort of Jurassic
World. What is it called? Is it?
I think it's called Dino
Evolution?
Estate.
It's called Dino Estate, right? That's right.
Welcome to Dino Estate. They say that too.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
Rebirth. That's what it is. Jurassic World Rebirth. Whatever.
What does the rebirth mean?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
The locusts are back.
Wait, is it Jurassic World Rebirth or Jurassic Park Rebirth?
It's World.
It's World. The franchise now is Jurassic World.
Now they're just going with
They should
World.
go back to Park.
They should go back to
just
Park.
sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
And also then you could have, if you fucking nail that Jurassic Park, then you can have like, hey, we're going to have a clean break from the Jurassic World. That was kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, this is kind of the canon,
Well, I mean, none of the Jurassic World movies have worked or been good, so I don't know why they would.
Yeah, they're.
Is there any that's? I like the second one the most. Jurassic World 2 is the one I like the most. I know.
Three is a disaster.
The one that's in the house. I just think that one's, and it's J.A. Boyana who did it, and I think he's like kind of the most interesting one.
3 sucks. 1 is not great, but it's got it kind of fun,
Yeah.
And 2 I think is okay.
You're saying the Locust one gets it kind of fun? Is that what you're saying?
No, the Locust one is the worst. That's 3. That's the worst one.
3 is the worst one.
I think going back to
which
Jurassic
Chris Pratt
Park,
was reading on the plane next to me when I went down to do Tomorrow War.
So wild. I think the original Jurassic Park trilogy, though.
Pen. I should have got my red pen out and made some corrections there. Locusts, cross that out. Dinos.
Jurassic Park, obviously a perfect film.
Yes.
Jurassic, the
Lost
Jurassic
World
Park
is better
2,
than
Lost World,
is much better than people think
and
it is.
Jurassic Park 3, I think are both fun.
I think they're
Those
both
are both fun rides.
Yeah.
I think the original Jurassic Park trilogy is pretty good.
Which was so confusing because I saw Jurassic World and thought it was so bad, even though it's made by my favorite director, Colin Trevorrow. And I was so confused that it was so bad and that people really liked it. But this is also like the turn of when people started to like every movie. So I was confused by it. But people loved Jurassic World, and I was with Armin, and we walked out of it being like, I feel insane. People were like cheering this movie, and I thought that it like absolutely sucked. And I think it was just the amount of time that had passed because I was like, Jurassic Park 3 is so much better than Jurassic World.
Yes, I agree. I think there's also, I think that the time, you're I don't even need to expand on it. I think you're correct.
Yeah.
I think it's a passage of time made people nostalgic for Jurassic Park, and they were happy to see any new Jurassic thing that was even functionally a movie.
But also when Jurassic Park 3 came out, don't you think like the world was kind of like, ugh, another Jurassic Park?
They were, yeah. People were exhausted.
And then you're
by
like,
it.
but now you like Jurassic World? Like what? I didn't understand it.
No, I remember being like, no, Jurassic Park 3 is good.
Yeah.
Like, to people who are kind of like, all right, they're making another Jurassic Park, whatever the fuck.
Macy. It's got William H. Macy in it. He's doing a great job.
Look, we can't have all this movie talk without one of the biggest movie dudes we know. From the With Gorley and Rust podcast, Paul Rust is here. Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Thanks so much for being here.
Right?
Yeah, that was
okay,
great.
okay.
That was good.
Does that remind you of Homer seeing 3 mistakes?
Yeah, 3 gutter balls. Guys, thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for being here.
A
We're very
pleasure as
excited to be
always.
here.
So excited always to have you on. One of our favorite people to talk to.
You know, I
Yeah.
suffered the same condition as your friend. I was hanging out with like a gritty LA detective, and I got botulism. What? Come on, grow up.
You got botulism.
You're hanging out with Titus Welliver. You got botulism.
Of course, you're gonna get bosh.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? What happens when you get botulism?
You write real page turners. I was watching a documentary about the Wonderland murders.
Oh yeah.
But it was made by like the novelist of the Bosch books.
Whoa.
And so he's trying to interject all these Boshy aspects.
Yeah.
Like even the people he interviewed, like who were detectives on the case, were like, and when I got to the crime scene, I almost kind of felt like Bosch. And then the interviewer like nods, like, yes, my character. It's so weird. Bizarre choice. Did you guys see it? You didn't see the Wonderland?
No, I didn't. The documentary, no.
Oh, is there a documentary on it?
Yeah.
Oh, where is it on Netflix or something?
It was on Hulu.
It was on Hulu. Okay, it's on Hulu. I would love to. I remember seeing the movie with Val Kilmer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he plays Holmes, right?
Yes.
Rupert Holmes?
John Holmes.
Rupert
Rupert Holmes sang the Pina Colada song,
Okay,
but
so
he also did have an 11-inch dick.
Is Rupert? That's how he stirs.
Yeah.
He stirred the Pina Colada. Is Rupert Holmes in the Wonderland movie? I don't know if he is.
I don't think he is.
Oh yeah. Is the
Is
song
Rupert
even in it?
Holmes in the John Holmes biopic that stars Val Kilmer? It'd be quite a coincidence.
I think that
I'll look
movie
it up.
is the movie is that movie's okay. I think it's not a bad movie.
It's okay, yeah.
it's an okay.
Yeah,
movie.
I
I mean,
never
this
saw
it's
it.
not great.
This is the thing. It pales in comparison to Boogie Nights, which is also like a riff on John Holmes. So it's like the fictionalized version just kind of works
Right,
better
and that
than
whole section at the end with
Yes.
why am I blanking on it?
Doc Ock.
Doc
That's
Ock,
all I
yes.
could think of.
Yeah.
What the hell is it? Molina? Alfred
Alfred
Molina.
Molina.
Yeah.
And P.T. Anderson. He's always riffing. He's always
riffing.
He's always that is crazy. I have heard that fact before. That's supposed to be like the Wonderland thing, right? Like that's what inspired it.
Yeah, a porn star going and trying to steal money from a drug lord.
Yeah.
Los Angeles drug lord.
That scene is great.
Okay, I'm looking through the credits for Wonderland. Val Kilmer plays John Holmes. I'm just looking for the word Holmes. Lisa Kudrow plays Sharon Holmes.
Okay, is there a third match?
John Holmes is featured in archival footage as Johnny Wad, his character. Visual effects by Shayna Holmes, potentially some relation.
Nepo kid.
Yeah, probably a Nepo baby. And then Sharon Holmes was a
Nepo baby.
consultant.
Nepo baby getting to work on the movie like
Yeah, dad.
where her dad was a fuck up.
Dad did porno, so now she has a pipeline into the visual effects industry.
Do you ever think about going by Nikki Wad ever?
No, I haven't, but I could. Nicky
could.
Wad?
You could go by Nikki
I
Wad.
mean, Nicky Wad. That's a different guy,
Yeah.
but I could do it.
Even Nikki itself would be
Nikki's cool.
Nikki is
Nikki
cool.
is cool.
Six.
Little
Yeah,
Nikki.
I can't. No, this is the thing. The actual Nikki is so much cooler than like I can offer. I think Nick is about where it can go. I thought about
I
doing.
disagree.
Oh, God bless
I
you.
think it could be Nikki Wise.
I think
cool.
yeah, I think it could be Nikki
Have you
Wise.
thought about being Mitchie Load?
I'm Load instead of Wad?
Yeah, you're Load. You're more of a Load guy.
I'll be Mitchie Load. I like that name.
Okay.
Little Nicky, great movie. We talked about it before.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Where I told you I had my sexual awakening to when Little Nicky puts tits on Kevin Nealon's head. Remember he puts tits on Kevin Nealon's
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Little Nicky. I think it's his dad who does it, right? Someone
That sounds. I'd remember
Yeah.
it foggy. I've seen it
you
once.
remember Kevin Nealon having tits on his head in the movie.
Yes, and of course
Yeah.
you remember Marianne Cotillard in the Funny or Die sketch, Forehead to Taze.
Oh,
So
right.
a bit.
I forgot about that.
Paul, do you like a big? You love the Sandman. Do you have a favorite
Yeah.
Sandler or favorite few Sandlers?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think I know the answer to this. I'm not going to say it.
Well,
Happy
it's
Gilmore too.
it's a little like the first two are pretty mixed nuts and bulletproof. They're probably my favorite. No, I like Billy Madison
Sure.
and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I do, as far as latter day Sandman goes. Sometimes I find myself messing with the Zohan,
Oh,
even
yeah,
though
the
I've
Zohan.
been advised not to. But I thought that one was pretty funny.
That's really funny.
Yeah. What if I was like, Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems.
That's no fun. That's not what we want.
And Jack and Jill. Oh, I thought you were
Oh.
pretentious.
Now I just don't know if this guy's dumb or what his deal is. I love the Sandman. I haven't watched his new special. I saw Tim and I went to the Dynasty Typewriter and we saw a lot.
How fun is that? What a cool
was
venue
great.
to see Sandler.
It ruled. And we saw Sandler live together too
That's right.
at LA Live.
But that was a very non-intimate
No,
setting. That was
yeah.
Were you in the Microsoft Theater there, or whatever that is, or were you in the crypto?
It was the Microsoft.
you were like, Nick was our dad, and we got caught sneaking out. And he asked where you were. You're like, we were at the church.
Microsoft Theater. We were.
Which is now, is it the Peacock Theater now?
Yeah, you know how I remember? The
Yeah.
ticket taker was like, the name of the theater reminds me of your dick. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Micro and soft. I was like, all right, lady. I'm just trying to see a show.
I remember that because when I got my ticket, he said, this theater reminds me of your brain. And I said, my brain? Jesus Christ. He was like, yeah, it's micro and soft.
Yeah. What the fuck was up with these ticket takers?
Fucking crazy. They just roast you there.
Seriously, though, I remember it being the Microsoft Theater because our
Because of
usher
the ticket takers?
was Bill Gates.
All right.
That's why he'll work there. He'll work a shift there.
Enjoy the
Yeah.
show, boys. All right.
Yeah. Enjoy the show, boys. I remember that. And his shirt was like on backwards.
His shirt was on backwards. Maybe someday I'll get up on that stage. We said, okay, Bill.
Okay, Bill.
Yeah, sure, Bill. Man can dream, I guess. Okay,
I
so
bet he'd like to go to the new Jurassic Park Island.
he'd love it there.
He's like, oh, I've been here before. Oh, the bathrooms are
It's
over
different.
The
there.
old stomping grounds.
Me and Matt Graney.
Do.
Yeah, that was the ultimate 3 does.
And then the ticket taker said Microsoft about, I guess, my ass. All right, so let's
That thing's Macrosoft, my man.
That's what I was trying to tell him.
Yeah, is the good thing macro hard? A big hard ass.
Oh, if that ticket taker had said macro hard about my dick, I would have been on cloud 9. I would have liked it. If the ticket taker said a if the ticket taker said macro hard, I forgot what the word was.
It's like a vocal warm up. If the ticket taker said macro hard. Can I just point something out? This is one of the coolest. You've had an awesome career. You're such a talented guy. I was in an improv group with you, and I was in a sketch group with you, and just to watch your talents be able to be appreciated by so many people it's such a great joy. You have an incredible role in the movie Saturday Night. You play Paul Schaefer.
Yes.
That's just so cool.
Oh, well, thank you for
It
those
is
kind
cool.
things you said there, Nick. His name was Paul, too.
That's what I was saying. That's what my question was going to be. Is that how you got the part?
Yes.
Was just the first name was, there's no one in that movie that's named Mike, right?
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were going to have there's a post-credit scene with a baby Mike Myers.
You could have gotten it on a condition of Lorne Mike.
Oh,
You
man.
could have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very close.
yes.
What was that?
Yes, I could have.
He's always grooming his
Yes.
beard.
Yes, it's me, Lorne Michaels. I would have. Our friend Armin played Lorne Michaels in another SNL
That's true.
movie. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Great job.
And he was great in that.
Yeah, so were you.
Wait,
You're-
where did it shoot? Where?
Down in Atlanta.
Oh wow, okay. So you're down in Hot Atlanta. Okay, where did you have any good eats down there?
No. It was like I thought I was gonna get to be bopping around,
Yeah,
Atlanta
sure.
and stuff. No complaints because it's nice to be working. And
Yeah,
stuff.
sure.
But it was like 30 miles south.
Oh,
of
so you're removed from the
Atlanta.
city center, right?
And the place where we shot at, the facility was right across from where the campus where you slept. So it was like,
oh wow.
the Oakwood.
Yes.
What's it called now?
Oh
It-
yeah.
this is a-
Oh, Avalon.
Yeah,
The Avalon.
this is a big apartment for people who aren't in LA. There's a big
Good
apartment
pull.
complex where a lot of people who are from outside the city, it's like their first place to live in LA. That was the first place you lived, am I wrong?
I know. I just stayed there for
You stayed there for a little bit,
but
yeah.
it was above. It's above like the Warner Brothers lot,
Right,
and
right,
near
right.
the Universal lot. So people will sometimes stay there if they have an acting job and they're out of town. And it was as if this facility said, "Why make it all separate? Let's just put it all in one thing." So I'd just get picked up, and then I'd go over, and then I'd look out of my dressing room, and I'd see the window of the place where I stayed at.
That's wild.
So I never really got out. And the place that I'll tell you where I did eat, because there was a place right outside the hotel that was like a fake city. It was like it felt like set makers had made it,
Wow.
and it kind of looked like if you were trying to make like a main street in a small town with restaurants. But it was the first time I ever went into one of those places where you put your card in, and then you walk in, and the stuff you just take off the shelves automatically.
Oh
you get
yeah.
Yeah,
charged
that's
for it.
so weird.
It's so weird because when you're doing it, you either think, "Oh, it's gonna think I'm taking something that I didn't, I'll get charged for it," or I'm taking something and not getting charged for it, and I'll be stealing.
Yeah.
I was like
yeah.
racked with.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done one of those?
No, they have them at Crypto.com Arena, which is, where the Lakers play. And so
Wow,
I've
you're getting
seen
paid
them
by
there.
crypto here. It's the second time you dropped the stadium's name.
Look, I mean, what, people want to use promo code DOE to get 20% off their first purchase of Bitcoin. It's up to them.
No, but they have one at the crypto.
They have one of those, but I've never actually used it, partly because
heard-
I'm just like, it's it's spooky to me.
Yeah.
I heard LeBron took a ball home and he got charged for the ball. He like took a ball from the arena.
It was a whole thing. Well, the other thing too is that then they didn't have a ball for the next night's game.
Yeah.
And so
And they were like, "Shit, what are we gonna do?"
so, yeah.
They're like,
And
well, Danny DeVito's sitting courtside, and they rolled him
They
up into a
rolled him
little
up.
ball and
Hey,
Bounce
what the
up.
heck are you doing? Oh shit!
And he was talking the whole time. So somebody trying to shoot like a 3-pointer, and he'd be like, "Oh, easy, pal," and then he'd miss. So it like kind of screwed up the stats of the game.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
And
I
then-
think also
then-
the court got wet because he was always peeing.
he was
he was
being-
scared.
He was very
They were
Yeah, I'm not
dribbling-
blaming
so
him.
much
I'd
of
be
it.
peeing
Dribbling
too
him.
if I was getting dribbled up and down the Lakers court.
And then also they'd shoot, and then he'd go up, and then he'd put his arms out, and then he'd get stuck in that, and he'd go, "This is pretty nice."
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
liked-
could get used to this.
He kind of liked hanging out up there. And they had to get like a mop and like kind of
Hey,
get him out. It's like, hey, take it easy. At least take me to dinner first.
Jersey Mike's.
Then he's the Jersey. Yeah,
he likes Jersey.
he likes
Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that
the way
happened.
to get him out is they would sort of like throw up Jersey Mike's, and him grabbing it, he'd kind of like fall out of the
He'd
hoop.
fall out of the net.
Have
yeah.
we left Danny DeVito with any dignity now? Is there any dignity that we should strip him of?
The way they get him out is they throw up. He's relaxing in the hoop, and they throw up Jersey Mike's. And he suddenly reaches for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Then he loses
And
balance.
he
and
loses balance.
topple
They,
over.
They're happy. They want him down.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, that's what happened.
It's what
but It is
happened.
very funny to think about.
Yeah, now in retrospect.
Yeah, it's
but at
funny.
the time it was scary. There was news reports for days if they were
Yeah.
going to be able to get him down.
Yeah, yeah. And and players slipping on the
On the
on
piss.
his
on the
piss.
piss. Yeah.
Danny P.
Vito.
That's what people started calling him.
Danny P.
Danny
Vito.
P. Vito.
and his wife Diarrhea Perlman.
Which she was in the stands and she was just she had diarrhea in the stands. Danny! Ah! I was watching Get Shorty last night.
Fun
We
movie.
were talking about this just a second ago because you brought up the Ivy. We were talking about the Ivy.
Yeah.
And I went to the Ivy with my mom and sister like early on in my because it was like it's the place where celebs go, so we went to it. Now I don't know. I think it maybe still is a place where people go. Right?
Is
I
it
don't know.
open?
I don't know. It's a great
Yeah.
question.
I've
I'm
never
gonna
been.
Google
I
it.
remember when I just went there the one time, and it was like this would have been like 2007 or 8, and I remember it feeling very 1994.
Yeah.
Right,
I felt
sure.
like trapped in kind of that era.
It's interesting
Guys,
because it's like, yeah.
It is open, and there's Ivy at the Shore is in Santa Monica. Wise,
Okay.
and there's one on Robertson. There's two of them. We could
The
do
Beverly
a
Hills one's
Doughboys
still open.
review. Yeah.
We could go to the Ivy. I mean, like it is kind of, because you look at the chronology, and the Ivy was hopping at the same time. These Beverly Hills restaurants were popping up. There were also like hopping places that became big chains, the Cheesecake Factory and California Pizza Kitchen. And it's weird to think that there was a time when people would like California Pizza Kitchen was like a destination in the same sort of way. Obviously, their fates diverged, and the Ivy ended up being more of like this cool celebrity haunt, and California Pizza Kitchen was like, we want to be in supermarket freezers. But yeah, it's kind
I
of
think
wild.
the Ivy came. I think Batman and Robin came out, and I think that the Ivy opened because of Poison Ivy. I believe
They were trying to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I think that was a big part
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
I think that there were a lot of restaurants like that people don't know. Mr. Freeze's was
Mr. Freeze's was originally like a
But yeah,
Mr. Freeze related.
you couldn't order a drink at the Ivy unless you were you had to say it exactly. I'm feeling a little thirsty, and they go, yes sir,
Yes,
yes
yeah.
sir, coming right now, sir.
But you'd have to be like, oh, can I get a Coke? I'm feeling a little thirsty, and then
The waiter would activate, and then slide on that like sort of tram, like kind of a
there's a
track.
tram.
There was a
yeah.
tram there,
You couldn't
yeah.
step on it or you get shocked. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a
Yeah, you couldn't step on it. You couldn't step on the tram. If you weren't a waiter, you couldn't step on the tram or you get shocked.
Right, yeah. Well,
I just want to.
I did step on it once, and my experience was like I was like, okay, I stepped on.
I remember that. Actually, I think I stepped on it too. And I was like, I do remember that. Did you ever step on it?
Yeah, I think there was a time I was like walking to the bathroom and I had to kind of move around the table and I stepped on it. I was like,
You stepped on it for a
I
while.
was there too long. I always, without fail, will laugh so hard anytime there's a joke electrocution.
Oh my god,
thing in a
so
movie.
funny.
Guess what? We did it for a good 90 minutes in our last episode.
Oh, good. I'm in luck. Oh, good.
Weiger knocked a drink over at Apple. Oh, has this come out? Yeah, it's come out.
Yeah, it's
This will be this.
He knocked over a drink at Applebee's and then hit his head on the light fixture.
The sequencing goes backwards. It was the same sort of thing. I hit my head first on a light fixture, and then I knocked my drink over.
And I was
'Cause,
saying
like,
that
the light fixture was right above my seat at the table, so I stood up into it, hit my head, and went ow, and then knocked it over.
And I was saying that he stood up and got around there, was like, and then was going.
Yeah.
There was in a improv 101 class. I remember Neil Campbell,
Yeah.
friend of the pod, friend of us all,
Yeah.
made a funny joke once where he was like working at a museum, and he was telling the employee he was like nervous. The person's like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, just nervous if lightning hits the museum and all the dinosaur bones come to life."
I remember
That's the other thing that could happen with electrical power.
it's
It could bring things to life.
always a danger. I'm remembering another. I wish I could remember the specifics, but I feel like this was an improv show we did where you did the thing where there was a light fixture that was established that you stood up into, and then you got shocked. Do you remember this at all?
No.
Okay. But I remember the context being like, hey, like let's just try to keep things like grounded and normal. Like we were just kind of having that discussion of like things had gotten like too silly. Like we had that before the show, and then like immediately like you like stood up into a light fixture.
Yeah. I remember, there was a point on our improv team, Nick. You were one of the people.
Yeah.
And Neil wasn't one of the people. But before the show, there'd be sort of okay, and let's remember to keep this grounded and not get too silly too fast. And I'm like, I can tell it's about me because you're not looking at me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't about me, you would look at me.
I would love indirectly getting that note.
Yeah.
Let me just say that.
Yeah.
as someone who was watching last day of school, that's what I came from that silly. It was
Hey,
all right, okay.
the funniest, I think the funniest improv team there ever was.
Whoa,
Mitch, what a nice thing to
Eat
say.
your heart out, the swarm.
The Swarm is good too.
Andy Daly and Andrew Secunda, Billy Merritt and Sean Conroy. Are like,
Kick the shit out of me.
Waiting outside.
They're also all very funny, but
Yeah.
of course. I mean, I wasn't being snarky by
No.
name dropping them.
I just don't want. I don't.
Oh, you don't want beef?
I don't want beef.
we don't need
I don't.
trouble
want
from
that
those
heat.
old New York guys.
I don't want the New York guys to beat me up.
Yeah.
You guys were very funny together. You were great. It was a great crew. As funny as improv can be.
They're holding you up like above a dumpster, and they're like, you're like, you're strong, and they go, yes, and you're like,
and
you're
handsome.
yes, and that's how improv bullies work. They always make you pay them compliments.
Yeah, just one more. They want one more compliment always, Wags. That's
yes,
the thing.
yeah, it's a whole thing.
I saw an improv show called Comedy Sports.
Oh yeah, no
up in
Comedy Sports.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
And it was the first time I had ever seen a improv show.
yeah.
And they had this thing that was like, you got points based on or you got points docked, and they were like a clean theater. So if you suggested something dirty, they had this thing that was like paper bag time.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
put
yeah,
the
yeah.
paper bag on somebody's head as a punishment.
And
And
then a guy died, suffocated in the bag, and they had to stop it.
Yeah,
they had to
it
stop
was
it.
really sad.
Yeah.
changed the name to Paper Bag Theater just to like give people a heads up.
Wait.
But no, I don't know. But he
Well, yeah, they stopped the practice, but they're like, let's put Paper Bag Theater in our business name so people know we're serious about this. We don't do it anymore.
but there was a guy in the audience who just like, I think his suggestion was like not dirty. It was just like, literally like the word sex. I
Yeah.
think he just said sex. And they were like, paper bag him. And they put it, and I'm not laughing at the person. This is true.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the scenario here that
Yeah.
that was happened. But they put it on a man in a wheelchair who couldn't use his arms or legs.
That's horrible.
And so like 10 minutes passed, and then finally somebody on the stage was like, "Can somebody make sure to get the paper bag off his head?" 'cause
Oh
he was still
my
wearing-"
god.
Is that
That's
horrifying?
so crazy.
What an insane decision.
I thought you were going to say that his head was too big for the bag. I thought there was going to be some sort of, which I would be afraid. I would be afraid if I got paper bagged head,
Yeah.
that it would be uncomfortable.
You just wear it like a dunce cap. Okay, you're a movie dude. 2024, Mitch and I and Casey were talking. Not maybe there have been some movies we liked, but maybe not the strongest year of cinema. Have you?
Some are calling it Stinker City. As far as
I've heard some people call it Stinker City. I know you have a family. I know you don't have as much time to see movies as you would like, but do you have any movies that you've really responded to this year? I mean, I just if
I like The Apprentice.
I like The Apprentice quite a bit. I liked Nora we were talking about, Dune Part 2, another Casey pick. A very good movie. There's an
the
anime.
Substance you liked?
Substance I like. This anime Look Back, which got a limited release. I really loved.
Cool.
You know, I liked Civil War.
Civil War's
read there was discourse
Great
on
movie.
Civil War that I didn't know that like people didn't like Civil War, but I liked Civil War.
I thought it was incredibly effective.
Yeah, right. I'd like to see more to be able to give a choice that I feel like is coming from a body of movies that I saw. But
Sure.
one that I think is my current favorite right now is In a Violent Nature.
Oh yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, that's
That,
fun. I like that movie. Yeah.
I didn't get around to seeing it, but Casey, did you know some people who worked on that movie? Or
Yeah, I know one of the producers
Okay.
and the editor, and I also really liked it.
Yeah,
a lot.
There's a great
Tell them I say
death.
bravo.
There's a great
That's
death
good.
in that movie.
because you're obviously a big horror buff.
Yeah.
And I have heard that movie is very grisly, which is part of why I haven't like watched it yet. But I am gonna watch it at some point.
Yeah, it's gory and gruesome, but yeah, I liked it because it was like combined sort of two of my favorite things. Like it was like a slasher, but
Yeah.
it was also just like slow and meditative.
Yeah.
You can kind of like zone out. Like I like movies like Elephant.
Oh yeah,
and Brown
Nick
Bunny.
loves elephant.
You're watching it right now on your iPad.
That's good. It's a cinema. The Elephant's very good. Gus Van Sant movie.
Yeah, but when they just show like them like walking around for a while.
Yeah. I
They
love
do that with In Violent Nature. Sometimes they just show the killer walking around the forest for a while.
That's cool.
I like it a lot.
Do you know when you were a kid and you're like, let's play Ghostbusters? Like, I'm Egon and I'm whatever. Nick, and when he was little, used to do that with Elephant. He's like, let's play Elephant. Fuck.
He was little.
the timeline's not quite working out here.
This dovetails to a funny joke Mitch made during the movie we watched for today's episode, where one of the characters' name is the character's child's name is Dylan, and he said it was going to be revealed in backstory that they named him after Dylan Klebold. And it was because the mom went to Columbine.
That's right. And she was friends with them. We were saying this while the movie was playing to let you know our experience at the movie. I'll say this about the movie.
Yeah.
Paul and I both had the same thought about this movie when we both had the same joke, which I'll let you. Would you like to say it?
No, but the observation we made within seconds of each other.
Yeah, was that we thought there would be a reveal where they show a dog's boner.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to say. Yes,
we were like, what is the red one? What's going to be the red
right.
one?
We were texting before the movie, and I said, "Oh, I think it's going to be about the part that comes out when a dog gets aroused." And then Mitch was like, "I literally just wrote down that joke too."
I had written it down that it's a dog's, basically a dog's boner.
I was thinking the title is not really good.
No.
So you can make a joke about Red One being like a Chihuahua's boner.
Yeah.
and it can also, it looks like it's redone.
Oh yeah.
This
film needs to be redone.
Yeah,
They should have
exactly.
done some more takes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
I'll be
also-
right back.
Wait, what?
Contacting Mad Magazine.
I'll be right back.
Okay, Mitch is walking out of the studio. Can you? What else? What else were
His
you riffing
mom
on?
came up with the title. He's outraged that we're saying it's no good.
Is he going to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
He took his keys with him.
Why did he
though.
take his keys?
Is he gonna go like put on a Santa suit?
Oh, is he going to do a wardrobe change? I didn't even think about that.
I didn't see him bring a costume in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't either. Maybe he's got one stashed in the bathroom at all times.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. He's just taking a big crap, but he wanted his car keys with him for security.
It's like his butt has like a little ignition, and he puts the key in, turns it. But then it's like those like nuclear war plants, so you need two guys with each
Yeah.
of the key and like turn them at the same time.
All right, now let's see what this baby can do.
I also thought the title could be, I was looking forward to that prequel of the spy movie with Helen Mirren and Bruce Willis.
Right.
Yes. That.
God, I totally forgot about the Red franchise.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this one was year one.
Year one of Red, yeah.
Red. Oh my
Happening.
gosh.
Okay, Mitch just exited the bathroom.
Man
and
of mystery.
he's crossing over to.
Now he's leaving the building.
Leaving the
He's
building?
leaving the studio.
Okay, he's walking out of the studio.
He's propping the door open because he never remembers to bring his key to the studio.
Oh no, the Headgum cats are gonna get out now.
Oh, Jimmy would be thrilled if that happened.
Jimmy's like, get those cats out of here.
Yeah.
Jake Kasdan, we should say, who directed Red One, which I was surprised by. Jake Kasdan has directed some cool movies.
Yes.
The new Manjis most recently, which I are fun. But Zero Effect, very cool movie. Walk Hard, very very funny movie.
Yeah.
It's.
I think he also did the TV set, which is a really good spoof of the TV pilot making season. And then Walk Hard is
Walk Hard is
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the TV set, but I think the. Okay, Mitch is returning. What?
Oh,
Wow.
Mitch got insisted on us getting a popcorn.
Can you let Jemmy do an inspection? She's trying real hard to just make sure
do a
that's
little
safe
sniff.
for you guys to play with. Okay.
Jemmy read red. She read Red One, and she got horny. You love red ones.
She does.
Here it is. The red one popcorn bucket.
Wow.
The collectible, commemorative red one. I noticed you could kind of like squish it. It's not that like sturdy.
It's not that sturdy. Also, so we went into the theater. We saw this at the Americana AMC, which is a great theater. Casey Affleck goes, so you know that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I saw him there once. We went there and we went to the front to get some snacks. We actually had some nice snacks beforehand, Wags. We had a Wetzel's pretzel together.
Oh, how
It was
fun is
very
that?
Nice.
Yeah, sometimes before I go to a movie at the Americana, I like to hit up that Wetzel's pretzel stand beforehand and have a Wetzel's.
That Wetzel's gets the job done.
Yeah.
Did you ever eat at the Nordstrom Cafe?
No.
That Nordstrom Cafe
We
is
went to
pretty
the
good.
Barnes and Noble Cafe afterwards.
Oh,
so
that's fun.
we got a hot coffee.
Did you do a
Yeah.
matinee?
Mm-hmm.
We certainly
Oh,
did.
that's so fun.
Yeah.
We saw this movie at 1:30 p.m. on a Monday.
Yeah. And, the Americana already has sort of just like a, I don't know, uncanny vibes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a simulacrum of a walkable neighborhood. It
Yeah.
is meant to. It's like what you were talking about earlier with that
Yes.
fake street.
Yes.
That kind of an approximation of Main Street USA.
Do you know-
And Monday at 1:30 out and about is sort of a eerie time too. But
Right.
when we were pulling up, it was like in the parking structure, I started hearing Christmas music in the parking structure. And then when we parked, just being there in daylight feels a
with
little
no
weird.
one there.
Yeah.
You know when like you are sick out of school or you have a day off of school when you were younger and that feeling of like, ooh, I'm in this place where like no one is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like especially in the AMC at 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
on a Monday.
I
But our
will
theater was packed.
oh, yeah. It was
Wait, it
sold
was
out.
packed,
Yeah,
really?
it was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sold out. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
elbow to elbow, just
Oh,
completely
man.
full.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah. No, it
Yeah,
was-
I can imagine that you'd be surprised by that information, but we're telling you the truth.
Yeah,
It
we're
was
telling
sold
you the
I
out.
truth.
believe I have
sold
no
out.
choice but to believe you.
Yeah, and all this stuff like how we were just openly talking about Columbine during Red One. It was annoying all that packed theater. This packed, sold out theater.
Yeah.
But you know what I don't like about AMC because sometimes I like to get a coffee before the movie.
Yeah.
Hey, I get it. You can't bring in outside drinks into I'll accept those rules.
Right.
Sure.
But it makes sense if it's like, don't bring a water in here. We got water in here. Don't bring a soda in here. AMC doesn't offer coffee.
Oh man, yeah.
So to have to give up your coffee.
It depends on the AMC, I think, is the thing.
Really?
So maybe it's like a chain-wide policy, but only certain AMCs offer it. Because I've gotten a hot coffee at the AMC Century City.
Oh, so you're saying the policy is whether they'd have coffee or not? Not some are actually lenient about bringing coffee. You don't.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just like, because you're saying they don't
It
sell
depends on what
coffee there.
nerd you
want
got
a
at the
coffee.
front there. I mean, like he should let you in.
He
with
should
the
just let
coffee.
you in. But I've it's interesting. Yeah, Mitch, maybe it's that because I went to the
Or
AMC
coffee also
Century
stains.
City.
I don't know. Maybe they don't want you to have a drink like that.
They do sell coffee there, but it's like a
Mhm.
Keurig machine, but you can get a coffee. I've done it a number of times. We'll oftentimes see a morning screening. But there's another AMC.
I thought you said a Krampus machine because we
Boy,
remember
Mitch,
Krampus.
we'll,
Oh,
we'll get
I-
into it. It's not a
careful.
Krampus machine, thankfully. There was also, I heard you. I said Keurig machine. I understand how you could hear Krampus machine. I understand the mistake there. So
By the way, if you come up with the best Santa name, you're gonna get this Red One bucket.
Oh,
That's the new rule. It will
that's
cost
good.
us like $30 to ship it, probably, and it is bendable. And we're not even gonna wash it. There will be little popcorn kernel stains in there from when Paul and I went to the movie. So that's. But you know what? If no one comes up with a good Santa middle name, we keep it, and it's a
Yeah.
good bucket. So we'll keep it. We get to keep it.
yeah, if the name's not good
That
enough, we're gonna
sound was
keep
such
it.
a perfect sound. Because I love a coffee at the movies.
I do like that. The other thing I was going to say, there was another West Side AMC where they, like, I've said, like, hey, do you have coffee? They said no, but there's a coffee bean around the corner,
Mm.
and they did let me bring it in.
Uh-huh.
So it may
Mm.
just be the individual theater manager.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a little bit more restrictive there just because the AMC, the Americana has so many food vendors. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and they have to put a
Yeah.
gosh on it.
Just be absolute about it. That's a bummer, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just because this movie, I don't think is exactly gripping. Like, it's not like a thing where it's like it really held my attention.
Right.
I think if I was seeing it in the middle of the day, I might need a little bit of a caffeine lift to make it through it.
Little Java.
Yeah. I saw this
You
one.
know, we went to the. Never mind.
What?
No, Mitch, I want to hear what you're going to say.
We did. There was a celebrity sighting that we saw at the Barnes and Noble.
Oh, that's cool.
The Linda Richmond was there.
Wow. Linda Richmond from Coffee Talk. Well, it makes sense. They sell coffee there. That makes sense. That's the kind of place she'd want to congregate.
And we were like, "How was the coffee?" She's like, "I'm verklempt." That's what she
She
said.
liked it so much.
Yeah.
And then she gave us some options to what to talk amongst ourselves about.
Yeah, talk. Yeah. She said, "Red one, did you like it or not? Talk amongst yourself." And then she had the coffee.
And she was like, "Red one. Red one is neither red nor one. Talk amongst yourselves." Do you remember when?
I forgot how the bit went.
Do you remember Coffee Talk when it was
yeah.
hosted by Paul Baldwin?
What?
Yeah, there was the first couple iterations of that. Mike Myers played a character named Paul Baldwin.
Oh
and
my
I'm,
God.
the host of Coffee Talk, and then he brought on Linda Richmond. I was like, "What is this Paul Baldwin erasure that I'm witnessing?" I was
right.
outraged as a 10-year-old.
Paul Baldwin was the original Coffee Talk.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Linda Richmond is way better than Paul. I'm sorry to say this.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the replacement.
Mike Myers, he brought in no hate.
Mhm.
Think he's so funny. But he brought in the direct address to the camera
Oh,
vibes,
yeah.
which
Sure.
is now like if you have a character on SNL, it's sort of how
Easiest way
it's
to get it out, yeah.
presented is like, oh, they host a show, and this is their show. But like Coffee Talk and
Coffee Talk.
Wayne,
Yeah.
Sprockets.
Yeah. The
Sprockets.
Simon in the bathtub.
Yep, he's got his own show.
Simon.
Even
Like
when it
Do
drawings,
makes it sort of not credible.
Yeah.
Like, why would Simon have a TV
why would he have a
show in
TV show? It doesn't make
bathroom?
any sense. Yeah.
He's a child, right? Isn't he a little kid?
A little
Yes.
kid who likes to do
Yeah.
drawings.
Yeah.
So there's a million things wrong with this already.
Doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
But I remember the Linda Richmond one was really baffling because it's okay. She's doing a show out of her apartment. That makes sense. I can buy that.
Yeah, I can buy that.
But then there was a cameo once by Barbara Streisand. I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, I do remember this.
She bopped in and she was like, "Hey, all this talk of butter's got me hungry," or something like that. And everybody laughed that it ended. But that means like Linda Richmond was in her apartment and Barbara Streisand broke in. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird, yeah.
I was having a similar thought. I was watching ID4
Uh-huh.
the other day, Independence Day, and a movie I loved as a kid, and also after watching Red One, I was like, "Oh man, Red One's such a huge piece of shit." Sorry to kind of
Whoa.
to maybe tipping my cap there. Does that make
Your
sense?
Santa cap.
Showing my cards.
Showing your cards.
Showing your
I
Santa
always
cards.
get this wrong. I was showing my Santa cards here because Independence.
Tip your hand the idiom?
showing
like you're
my hand,
Yeah.
whatever.
But I think like you're tipping your hand of cards. I think that's what the
I think it's
tipping
show
your
your
cap is.
hand and tip your cap.
Tip your cap. But there is a tip your like version of I think so.
I was tipping my cards, and
Tipping
people saw
bartender.
them.
Yeah.
And but
I was tipping my cards.
but sorry to tip my cards here, and people see it here. The Red One is a huge piece of shit. But Independence Day is great, and I was watching. I was like, oh, it still holds up and it's good. But Randy Quaid, has this been talked about before? Randy Quaid in the movie is like he's like an ex-pilot, and then in the movie, like they're like recruiting people to go and fight the aliens, and then he's talking to the people. He's like, I'll fight the aliens. He's like, I got abducted once, and then the two like government guys are like, okay, and I'm like, why are they questioning him? There's an alien
There's
invasion.
aliens, right,
they exist,
Well, they
so what's
exist. So
the-
why are they rolling their eyes at Randy Quaid at
Yes,
this point?
yes, that's true.
I mean,
All of a sudden it's plausible.
was this worth taking 5 minutes to talk about? No, but
I thought you were gonna say it was like an art imitating life thing of like, oh, Randy Quaid sort of lost the.
well, that he 100% became kind of that character in real life.
Because that reminds me, in Catch Me If You Can,
Yeah.
there's a part where Christopher Walken is giving an award or getting an award, but he mentions the name, and it's a fictional name in the movie, I think, Robert Wagner. But it's really weird because he was on the boat with Natalie Wood with
yeah,
Robert
that's
Wagner.
totally crazy.
Yeah,
That's odd.
It's really strange.
yeah.
That would be like if I mentioned the person who was with me when we murdered
Go on.
Nicole Brown Simpson.
Right. It would just seem like a weird, even if it wasn't overtly incriminating, it would just seem like a weird thing to reference.
I can't get charged now for the murder of Nicole Brown
No, I
Simpson.
think the statute of limitation
Ron
has been,
Goldman.
has passed there.
Well, I just murdered Ron Goldman, okay?
OJ was like, now you do one. And you had to, and you
I was like, what? He's like, or we're not going to play football together tomorrow. I'm like, okay. He was like, it was like a Big Brother program. He was my Big Brother.
That's the real comedy sports. You two playing football together would be fun to watch.
It would be funny.
That would be the real comedy
It would be
sports.
fun to watch. We went there. We were gonna get a snack. We had the pretzel.
Yeah.
I got in line. I said, we'd have the red one bucket, please. And she sadly came out from around the counter to where we were and grabbed the only red one bucket off the shelf. The only one that's been maybe sold.
It was on the shelf that you walk
Wow.
up to. So you.
She had to like come out to where we were. She could have asked us. We would.
Yeah, why she didn't just tell you to
We
get
could have
it?
just handed it to her, but she came out, grabbed it, and went back. And I was like, oh, no one has got this red one bucket. I didn't even realize that it cost more. I just thought it was like I thought it was the bucket of popcorn.
No, there's an upcharge.
Yeah. So
How much did that cost?
I don't know. We'll worry about it later. think it
One
was like-
red cent.
Did it cost $20?
It might have been $20.
Jesus Christ. I mean this is the thing, like
Jesus Christ.
I got one like that. I got the Spy Family one when that movie Spy Family Code White was out, and it was like and it was such a piece of shit, and it was so expensive that I'm just like, what am I gonna do with this? This fucking sucks. I even like this thing. Red one I didn't like. Like that is like that I
Ooh.
liked.
You're tipping your hands there.
I'm tipping my cards.
You're tipping your cards there.
So I got myself a orange Fanta Zero.
Okay,
Paul, did you got a soda as well?
I got a soda, a regular Coke.
that's
From
fine.
their
Can't
Coke
go wrong with
machines.
that. We split the popcorn up. I got a little box of popcorn, and
Yeah.
Paul got the bucket. And
Yeah, you know what though? I didn't eat the whole bucket. I could have, but I didn't
yeah.
because it started not to be a Jerry germaphobe,
Oh,
not to be a Jerry Seinfeld, but like I started thinking like, oh, that bucket's been out.
Yeah,
By-
right.
yeah.
Oh, so
Line.
they put the popcorn directly into that.
Yeah,
bucket.
it wasn't like
It
covered
wasn't
in
lined.
plastic.
Wow.
It was just they took it off, and I was like thinking of all the like shitty kids who like probably took it
Yes.
and like pooped in
shit
it.
particles floating up in the air into the bucket.
And
Not
then
to-
they put it back up, and I'm like,
Not to mention just dust, and then also like maybe at some point someone just like spray cleaned it with a bar towel. You know, what I
Yes.
mean, it's like it's probably not the most
There's
hygienic
a
thing.
chance
You're right.
a mouse went in there and was like, look at this, well, I could
had
move
an
in.
adventure.
Now this is living. Yeah, and he just kind of set up shop. He got a little mouse couch and a lamp.
That
He's
could have
watching Mouse
happened.
TV.
The last time I was at the Americana, I heard what I thought was a mouse chewing on something when I was with Mookie. So it's very possible that there's a mouse in there. I think that makes sense. And now a lucky listener can take it home, and it still hasn't been washed since then. So all that stuff we talked about could still be in there.
That red one bucket is unwashed, and it's all yours as long as you come up with the best invented name for Santa.
Santa's middle
Santa's
name.
middle name, of course.
So we got our stuff. We went in. We were a little late to the previews, but we saw a couple previews.
Yeah, what previews did we see?
We saw Indiana Jones meets Matlock.
I went by myself
what was it?
on a Wednesday night. So I
He
this
doesn't
fell at
care.
a time when I was on jury duty, and so like I was like having to go to the LA airport every day. I was having to sit in the courtroom, and there was like one window the whole week where I could actually see this movie. And so I just was like, fuck it, I'll just go. I wasn't in a mood because there's a Laker game on at the same time I wanted to
Yeah.
watch.
I felt
Don't
like in
get
the text you didn't really want to see it.
I didn't
When
really
you-
wanna
you
see
sent
it.
a
I was
text because you were like,
No,
do you really want to go to this ball?
Well, because here's the thing.
and I was like, sure. And you were like, okay, but it's gonna suck.
I like seeing movies. I like seeing movies in theaters,
Yes.
and this movie is topical, so it makes sense for us to cover. Where I was with my particular schedule, because I have jury duty, was like became a big inconvenience for me to get to the
Your
theater.
Honor, may I be excused? I need to go see Red One. You may go.
Wait a minute, is it for a podcast? No. Okay.
Remember when you were working that job? You were like, you got a letter in the mail that said the state you had to go and do like Red One duty. And then you were like, you went up to the judge, you're like, hey, there's this new Pauly Shore movie out called Jury Duty. Could I go out and see it? He was like, okay. Sure.
Yeah, right. He made a special exception. So I went on a Wednesday night by myself during a Laker game. Don't Connect had 37 points. I missed it. But
you left during the end of the Celtics game.
I left during the end of the Celtics game, but the Celtics were going to win. And
hey, you saw J.K. Simmons score, though.
I sure did.
He was doing 3-pointers and dunks the whole movie with those lines.
Was there not a trailer for Indiana Jones meets Matlock?
No, that was why I was like, why do I even need to address this? Because I also saw the Indiana Jones meets Matlock trailer.
Why am I forgetting what the... Is it like an old archaeologist movie? What was the...
No, there was a new Indiana Jones movie.
Where he meets Matlock?
Matlock.
Yes, I remember that. No. When he met Ben Matlock?
What other trailers were there? There were a lot of trailers.
Yeah, there were a lot of trailers.
Yeah.
Probably Wicked, right?
Yeah, Wicked
there's
was
the Wicked trailer. Definitely saw that one.
I saw the Wicket trailer.
The Wicked trailer, yeah.
Wicked.
And it's 2 hours of that eat walk, sniffing food before he eats it.
Yeah.
I always hated that in Return of the Jedi, how Wicket like would sniff something before he ate it. I'm like, get over yourself, dude.
He was testing it.
So gross. It's like the kids who, like, when they hear a loud noise and they cover up their ears. I'm like, just relax. Okay. I do that really irrationally bothers me. Like when a fire truck goes by and it's loud, I look for a kid who's covering his ears just to hate them.
This can be pretty loud. I mean, kids have sensitive ears, so I understand it.
Yeah.
It was weird. There was the Wicket, there was the Indiana Jones meets Matlock trailer, and then there was the Wicket trailer. And then there was another Indiana Jones meets Matlock trailer.
They showed that one twice. It's in heavy rotation.
And there was some different stuff with it.
Yeah.
Like there was different shots of Matlock. There were different shots of Matlock in the second trailer.
Yeah, well, the first one, it was like live actors the whole time. And then the second one, sometimes the characters would be like CGI.
Yeah.
And then go to like animatronic and then back to humans. It was I didn't know what the choice was there.
The crazy thing
it wasn't funny.
It wasn't fun. The CGI Matlock looked really good though.
The CGI Matlock looked great, but I feel like they had the CGI Matlock in there because the actor who played Matlock was not willing to do some of the things they were required to script.
Griffith.
Andrew Griffith didn't want to do it, and so they had this CG Andrew Griffith that they were using. And so there's the part where he says, "Hey, Indy, this belongs in a museum," and he shows his pubes.
Yes.
And I was like, "What are we watching here?
Yeah.
You know, like what is this?"
I mean, he was
Especially for a
right.
trailer.
Yes, they do belong in a museum.
Yeah, it's like,
You know what? That was
technically he's correct, but like, why bring that?
why
up?
bring that up? And why
that
put that in the trailer?
well, actually, I disagree. I don't think technically the pubes do belong in a museum. But I should have.
Most museums I go to, they have the hall that's like different pubes.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're no. Yeah.
And it's usually Andrew Griffith characters that house the pubes.
I should have known that they were going to show pubes because the second Indiana Jones meets Matlock trailer was a red. It was
a red band trailer.
It was a red band. Red band trailer.
Well, that's what PG the rating stands for. Pube Gala. And PG-13.
You'll see 13 pubes.
Yeah.
And not a single hair more, because if so, they'll get in huge trouble with the MPAA. So there was those 3 trailers. I don't know if there's any.
They had
Is there any else?
There was the prequel. They had a 100 Dalmatians. I was like, oh wow, interesting. I want to see what happened before the story I know. You know, that one's fun. Also, a mix.
You know
of
what?
the
It sounds like
CG and live action.
it sounds like if you want to see a real red one, you got to go to that one.
Oh, gross. Yeah, I thought it was an odd choice when I watched the original animated 101 Dalmatians that it didn't open on 101 red ones just on screen.
Yes, right.
And then it zooms out, and you see 100 Dalmatian puppies like looking at like a hot poodle.
This is okay. This is
They
the thing.
were 101, and they were all boy
Boys,
dogs.
I guess.
This is the thing I distinctly remember from an improv show. So there's this dumb improv format called the movie form, and you and I we did the movie form together for a little bit. And the movie form is basically like it's an improv scene, but then there's also parts where like we cut to a montage where we see him running through the streets, then him looking through a filing cabinet, like you're kind of like directing some of the action for the audience as if it's on camera. So there's one. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is.
I think so.
So it was like a Disney like live action film that we were doing, and it was like we see a little boy who's peeing into a river from behind, and then Paul goes. We cut to an extreme close up of piss coming out of his dick. Like, not only would that not be in a Disney movie, that would not be in a movie.
Any movie whatsoever.
A child's penis
It would never be.
dispensing urine directly at the camera lens.
That movie could never be released. And we were saying it was the first scene of a Disney movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think that Dennis the Menace remake opened that way, though, to be fair.
With Walter Matthau?
Yeah, Walter Matthau's under getting like peed on by Dennis the Menace. And you're like, oh, I feel for Mr. Wilson.
Yeah,
And you're like,
right,
That's
yeah.
the point.
That's the whole thing.
To leaven the playing field from the beginning.
That's who you're supposed to empathize with, Mr. Wilson. And then when his heart softens, you're like, you know what? I could actually have a little bit more of an open mind towards some of the people who maybe bother me in my life. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful message from Dennis the Menace. Red One is directed by Jake Kasdan, as I mentioned. The story is by The Rock's ex-brother-in-law, Hiram Garcia.
Really?
The screenplay is by longtime Fast and the Furious series writer Chris Morgan. $200 million budget that reportedly swelled to $250 million and opened November 15th to $34 million at the box office.
So it wasn't just Rock's arms that were swole.
No, it was
the
not.
budget as well.
Was the budget as well.
What were all those numbers again? Who do you think I am? Walter Matthau?
Jimmy got up, got off of the couch and stretched.
It's good timing.
That was good timing. The dog's funny.
Yeah, very funny, Jemmy. Walter Matthau. What were the numbers? Wise?
So the budget I read on Deadline, it was a
Now I got to pretend to care about these numbers.
it was
Go on.
reported as a $200 million budget, but insiders said it was actually $250 million by the end of
Sure.
production. It was an
Wow.
extraordinarily expensive movie. And it
I wonder who the
opened.
insiders are in this scenario. Who knew about the real budget?
I think it's Santa. And then it opened November 15th to $34 million.
Okay.
So that was the figure at the box office. So it's not, it's not doing great.
Not gonna be Walter Matthau though. That's losing some money.
So I saw at the Culver Theater. My theater was not packed like yours was. The Culver Theater, which is a theater owned and operated by Amazon Prime, which is what released this movie. Actually, Mitch, Amazon Prime did not theatrically release Tomorrow War very
No.
dumbly, but they did. They are giving this a proper theatrical release for some reason.
Yeah,
Feelings? Thoughts? Feelings?
I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
I vow to shut down every screening of Red One from here on out.
Yeah, you were muttering that throughout Red One next to me. You were like, I'm going to close down the screen because Amazon didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't finish. You'd just say Amazon didn't.
Amazon didn't. I basically was saying Amazon didn't throughout most of the movie.
Yeah.
It's funny
Which-
that Amazon produced this when they are the Santas
It's true.
distributing gifts across the planet with
Amazon's
in
the
the-
Santa.
Yeah,
now.
Amazon
snap
kinda-
of a finger.
Kind of makes Christmas possible these days.
Yeah.
So God bless them.
Yeah.
God
God bless Amazon.
bless them.
Mhm.
So the Culver Theater is an odd theater. They show a lot of Amazon Prime movies that sometimes are you can also stream at the same time. But they also will just show whatever, and they also have a lot of private screenings. This night that I went, it happened to be one theater. I think they dedicated one theater to showing Red One round the clock, regardless. So there's one Red One theater. and then the rest of every other theater at the
Let me guess.
multiplex
Indiana Jones meets
it was Indiana Jones meets Matlock. No, it wasn't. That movie's not out yet.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It was the Asia International Film Festival. So that's
Wow.
going on at the same time. So there's a bunch of people who are there to like see their movies they're in, or their critics to see movies. So there's this big thing going on. And meanwhile,
Oh yeah,
I'm
you told me that you were going into Red One. You were chanting USA on the way into the movie.
the day after Election Day. There were 4 other people in the theater. There was another dude who was solo, maybe for a podcast, and then there were 3 teen girls who were sitting together. And by the end of the movie,
I had fucked them all.
Why?
I was horny. By the end of the movie, I was the only one still in my seat. Everyone else walked out.
Everyone else is up and applauding?
Yeah.
Not me. Not enough Santa time. We know there's not enough Santa in the movie. He gets trapped. He gets captured early on.
Yes. J.K. Simmons plays Santa, who's just billed as Nick. Bonnie Hunt plays MC, Mrs. Claus. And then the principals in the cast are Dwayne Johnson as Callum Drift. What a character name. Chris Evans as Jack O'Malley, and Lucy Liu as Zoe, who is like the head of the mythological creatures sort of organization, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie's just confusing. I think that's my main thing. I was just like, I was just so confused. Like there's so much world building going on, so much lore, and I'm just like, I feel like there's a simple concept here that I could get my head around, which is just Santa is kidnapped, but then there's so much specificity about like, well, we can sap Santa's powers to power these machines, but these machines only work when they're inside the confines of the North Pole, which is this hermetically sealed bubble. So Krampus has to get involved because he has another hermetically sealed bubble. It's just like so much shit is going on, and then also the Headless Horseman exists in the same canon.
Well,
it's just a lot. It's just a huge
We
volume
both
of
commented
information you're
that-
constantly getting.
the first mythological being they show is the Headless Horseman.
Yes.
Is the first one you see. I mean, this also does a thing of it's the longest time until it feels like it takes so long to get going on the journey. It's like 45 minutes until
It's
like
super long. There's an extended cold open with a
Little fat
a
Chris
plump little
Evans.
boy who ends up being young Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that. I like the young actor. I
he
thought
did
he
a
was
good job. Yeah.
As like a little grinchy kid. I thought that was fun. And then he ends up being Chris Evans in the future, and I'm kind of like, all right.
But there's also a thing with this where Chris Evans finds out Santa is real, and there's like no wonderment.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, whoa, Santa's real? Like there's nothing that like really is that crazy about it.
Guys, I love this movie. What are you talking about? These criticisms. I can't believe it.
We were having
No,
a
I'm
great
kidding. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Chris Evans was supposed to be kind of like a scoundrel in this.
Yes.
But then as soon as he literally takes candy from a baby.
Yeah,
is how
exactly.
He's introduced. But then once he's with Dwayne Johnson, he's no longer a scoundrel. There's no one more scoundrel. Maybe he took a gold coin from Krampus, of course. But even that that was off screen, so you didn't really know. I know that made you upset.
I was very upset that he took the gold from Krampus.
You're very pro Krampus.
I was very pro Krampus. I was rooting for him in all the Krampus schlachts. Remember the Krampus schlachts where
Yes,
they
of course, Krampus
where they
schlachts. Yes.
slap each other?
Yeah.
Amelia, you like this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
You thought it was good.
I thought it was good. It was good.
What
I
did you
liked
like
it.
about it?
Did you like the Krampus schlach when they were fighting when they hit
I
each other?
loved it.
I thought that was a joke. When you said
Oh no. You think I was just saying gibberish? No, it is the real. They do a Krampus schlach.
I also saw it at the Americana at Brand 18. I went by myself.
Mm-hmm.
There were also like your screening. There were like 3 or 4 other people.
That's so weird. Mitch and I's was like completely
Was
sold
completely
out.
sold out. Yeah.
was completely sold out.
The theater was laughing at everything. So I don't know what it was about this screening. I saw it in IMAX as Dwayne The Rock Johnson intended. I don't know if you know this. But
Yes, no, I do know this. I saw the article. Griffin Newman sent me the article clip, which was him he went and saw Inception in Christopher Nolan's
Or
personal
Oppenheimer.
screening theater. Yeah, I'm sorry, Oppenheimer in Christopher Nolan's personal theater, and was like, oh well, this Red One has to be on IMAX.
You're like, imagine how much ass this would kick to have
Yes,
Red One on IMAX.
Yeah.
Is that what cost an extra $50 million?
I mean,
Props.
could be.
Yeah. And he sent a picture of what he thought could be on screen, right? He sent a picture of his chest.
Of his bare torso. He's like, imagine this on the IMAX screen.
Is that real?
Yeah. It's
Yes, this is all real. None of this is fake.
I think he said something like, after seeing Oppenheimer, being like if Red One is on IMAX, it's game over, or
Yeah, it's
something.
game over. Yeah,
something
that's right.
along
Something
those
like that.
lines.
Well, he's kind of right.
So I was like, okay, I got So I saw it in IMAX.
But
Remember
wait,
who
hold on.
also sent me an article that might explain Amelia's experience. There's this article about a massive gas leak at the Americana Brand Theater.
Well, yeah, this is what I want. I want you to finish your thoughts, but like you said, they were laughing and everything. I'm watching this movie. Was like, I don't think this movie has any jokes. There were not points where I was like, well, this is an attempt at something funny. It more felt like it was like, hey, this is an action movie with a Christmas sort of, like layer on top.
I didn't feel that way.
What were
I
the
thought it
jokes
was-
you were responding to?
I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe the Nick Kroll stuff people liked.
Sure. Well, he's
Everyone
he's a comedian in a movie that doesn't have very many comedians in it.
So I don't think it. I think it was intentionally funny and didn't take itself seriously and knew it was a dumb Christmas movie, and I think it accomplished exactly that. I think it achieved what it set out to do. So maybe we're just reading the tone a little bit differently, but I enjoyed it. I was locked in the whole time.
All
More
right.
so than Megalopolis, I'll tell you that.
Insane take.
This is insane.
One other thing, I was debating whether or not I should mention this. I don't know if I was tired that day, didn't get a lot of sleep. Maybe I was feeling like extra emotional or something, but I cried at the end when it cut back to the little boy talking to his son.
Oh
Amelia.
my God, Amelia.
Amelia, the creators of the movie didn't even tear up. No one cried at that
I
moment.
teared up at the end when it cut back to the him as a child talking to his own
Right, because
his
the
own
idea is
son.
like there's a child within all of us,
And the elves
within
can
every
see that.
grumpy adult, and the elves can see it. And so there's a point where Chris Evans reverts to being a child while he's talking to his own son, who's a child, who's played by Jimmy Kimmel's nephew. How about that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I didn't get a lot of sleep the night beforehand because that's the only explanation as to why I'd respond that way.
Yeah, that's funny because I'm a easy mark when it comes to crying at the movies. It pretty much doesn't take much to get me the waterworks going. But when that scene happened, I was like, I knew it wasn't effective for me because I wasn't crying. I'm
You had to be at this IMAX screening. I'm telling you, everyone, all 5 of us were having a great time.
Man.
okay. So I'll be honest, it wasn't a sold out show when we went in.
You guys said multiple times that it was sold out. You're elbow to elbow.
It was
Weird.
2 couples
Yeah,
and then 1 person alone, kind of in the back row.
yeah.
And so
One jack off guy
yeah,
and 2 couples.
So that would have been.
I did have a moment where I was like, did the teen girls leave because they thought I was a jack off guy?
Probably.
They think it's possible. It was just
Yeah.
fine.
that you were, or
That I was
other
like,
guy?
that I was just
Well,
like, that one or both
question.
of us were jack off guys.
Were you jacking off?
Yeah, I mean, we could have seen it from where they were sitting.
I knew a guy in college. He told me I used to work at a movie theater too. Amelia and Mitch.
Thank you for your service.
And
What about me?
Yeah, thank you for your service.
All right.
Amelia, thank you for your service.
and we were
Anytime.
swapping
Casey,
stories
fuck you.
one day about
Oh, Casey.
cleaning the movie
Oh,
theater.
yeah, Casey, thank you for your service. I
No,
forgot you worked at
fuck
movie
Casey
theater as well. Yeah. Emma, thank you for your service behind the bar.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
It was this guy, Sam, that I knew. We were swapping stories about cleaning theaters and
Yeah.
stuff. And he told me one time he came in to clean the theater, and on the back of a seat there was just cum dripping off the back of
Oh
the
my
seat.
god!
And he was like, "What movie was this that this person did?" And he looked at it, was Home Alone 3.
"Oh my god! Oh my god!"
Did you think that's because they knew that theater would be empty?
Or yeah, I mean that's the best
let's
case
hope so.
scenario.
Hope that's what was happening.
Jake Lloyd, isn't that? Is that no?
Is
He's
that-
not. No, he's not.
Was a kid?
I don't think it is Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd. Is he?
I don't
No.
think that, I don't remember it being
Someone
him.
can look it up. Jake Lloyd's in some movie.
It's not,
as a
but that's the
child.
one without Macaulay Culkin.
Jake Lloyd is in Jingle All the Way.
That's what he's in.
Alex Linz, I think, plays
Alex
the kid.
Linz.
Oh, Max Keeble. He was Max Keeble in Max Keeble's Big Move, I think.
Oh, okay.
Max
Okay.
Keeble's big move.
All right, so you were going somewhere. You were talking before we went on this tangent. There were other couples in this theater.
Yes, and the theater wasn't laughing, and it was making me a little sad. So I started trying to goose some laughs. I like started out loud, like not obnoxiously so, convincing fake laughs. And I gotta say, Mitch, some laughs started coming after that. I do feel like it goosed the audience a little bit to laugh, but I wish
In
I would have
fact-
been in the theater. I love an audience that's giggling.
I want the audience to have fun. My audience was silent the whole movie.
Ours was Paul got some laughs out of him, but then at the end when Krampus returns, they did stand up and they applauded it. When Krampus,
when
comes
Krampus
back,
came in and
Oh,
saved
yeah,
the day,
yeah.
everybody well, that's when the theater became sold out.
yeah,
People came in and they all cheered.
Came in.
Krampus is back.
Krampus,
Get in here,
get
everybody.
in here, everyone, and the people went pretty crazy for Krampus being back.
When Mitch, when you stepped out, we were talking. I do like a lot of. I think Jake Kasdan is a very talented filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I'd be down to put money down for a ticket to one of his movies anytime. But did you? He's the son of Lawrence Kasdan.
Yes.
Did
of course.
you feel like there were a lot of little nods to the previous writings of his father? Because like that whole Snow Planet felt very hothy.
Yeah, I thought.
And
Yeah,
that big
was
polar
like,
bear
maybe
looked
there
a
was
little like
hothy.
Chewbacca.
The
Right,
the polar bear
little
did have Chewbacca moments of like,
Yeah,
hey,
right.
if you're not careful, this polar bear is going to do some stuff to you. You're like, nah, I know he won't. He's a softie. But then that whole reindeer, it was like the Raiders thing when he's got to go under the truck.
Oh
to get
yeah,
to the other
sure.
side,
Yeah.
but they did it with the reindeer and stuff.
Maybe these are some nods. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I do think a lot of the action.
Well, Yoda's also in the movie.
Yoda's also in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty big.
That was a
nod.
pretty big tell. That was a pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of times you think he's going to have the baggage of like, oh, that's Yoda.
Yeah.
He's playing Yoda.
Well,
He only has
was-
one line. He just says one red.
He says
Oh.
one. Yeah,
And it's because somebody says, how many and what color of M&Ms would you like?
So he said it the right
He
way.
said it the right- he said it the right way.
He said it the right way.
Here's part of
You can tell there's a look on Yoda's face. He says one red, and you can tell like
He's like, oh
he's
no, I
kind of
messed up.
embarrassed.
yeah. What did I say? Broke my character game. Do you like? Because part of my thing when I'm watching this movie is I'm wondering who this movie is for exactly. I guess beyond
Me.
Amelia specifically. Yes, yeah.
Amelia and the Rock.
It's because there's a version of this movie that's like a family movie, right? That's like, hey, I'll bring my kids to this. We're gonna bring the whole family. We're gonna have a lot of fun. But this movie has a lot of profanity in it, and it has a lot of stuff that, including I think Garcia, who's the big polar bear, stuff that's like actually scary and would be scary for small children. Like I can't imagine taking kids under age 10 to go see this movie where they're saying like, hey, watch out, dickhead.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was the
it's
conversation
so fucking weird.
Mitch and I had, which was after the movie, was that if you were a little kid, you'd want to see it because it's about Santa,
Right.
but it's PG-13.
It's
So it's a little
PG-13.
too hard for a 8-year-old maybe.
Right.
And then if you're a teenager who would maybe enjoy the kind of like Marvel movie, Star Wars-y type of action in there, you probably want to go to it because you think it's
You think it's for
about
yeah,
Kris Kringle.
it's a Santa movie for for little kids, and you want to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that's like
Oh,
I give me
yeah.
the real thing. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it's like it's fucking.
The theaters are dying, Nick.
I
Monday at 1:30, it used to be packed at the theaters. There was
You
no
sound
one in
like
there.
Colin Drift right now.
I
you,
sound like-
you sound like Colin Drift. You like don't believe in the magic of theater
It's
anymore.
gone.
well, this is another thing. Okay, so like there's so much.
It used to be "Show Me the Money."
Yeah, it used to
People
be.
knew what that meant. Do you know what "Show Me the Money's from?
No.
Wait,
Do you
you
know
don't know
what Show Me
Show
the
Me the Money?
Carfax is?
I know Show Me the Carfax.
From Show Me the Money to Show Me the Carfax.
Mitch, you made your point too well there. How did that work out? How did you,
I'm
you were
telling
like
you.
you were like doing a parody of that kind of guy,
Yeah,
and
it
it
worked out.
on
Let's
Amelia.
keep going.
You don't know the movie Jerry Maguire? Show me the money.
No, but I know the fox in the car commercial.
Yeah, no,
Show
we
Me the
know you
Carfax.
know-
Wait, that's
we
a
know
reference?
you know Show Me the
That's
Carfax.
a reference to something else?
No, it's not really. I mean, I guess it maybe is a reference to Jerry Maguire.
It
Maybe
100% is.
Is it really?
Yeah, 100%.
Show Me the Carfax.
Yeah.
That's the Gen Z Show Me the Money wise.
I'm a
This is where we're
millennial.
at.
I'm
It's
a
a
millennial.
millennial Show Me the Money.
I
now.
think you like Jerry Maguire. It's a good movie.
Okay. Is that that's Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
I think I have seen it actually. It might have been a while. Anyway.
Do you get what if you got favorite Cruise movies? Favorite Cruise movies?
Oh, Speed 2.
Yeah, Speed 2 Cruise Control. That's a good one. Wow, good answer.
Out to Sea, that Walter Math movie and Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, that one's good.
Titanic is a great cruise
Titanic's a
movie.
great cruise movie, yeah.
No, my favorite
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise movie is.
Oh, he said cruise movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
That's good.
funny.
I liked it a lot.
Good question.
It's like I'll say the ones that I came up with when I did this exercise was Mission Impossible Fallout. I love that
Mhm.
movie. I think it's so awesome. Wait, did I have Jerry? Now I can't remember what I said. Did I have Jerry Maguire on there?
Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
I think that'd be up there.
But I think fuck, I went with something. A Few Good Men was on my list because I just love that movie and I think he's so good in it.
Yeah. Well, my favorite performance of his is in Magnolia, but I don't.
Oh,
I wouldn't
yeah.
call that
Yeah.
a Tom Cruise
Right,
movie.
kind of an
It's just-
ensemble
yeah.
picture. Yeah.
But I'll go with maybe one of his first. I really love Risky Business.
Risky Business is a great movie.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, and I think he's really great in it because he gets to play charming and handsome, like you expect
Yeah.
from Tom Cruise. But he's also a little befuddled,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fun.
and he has funny befuddled moments.
Oh wait, no, I think I actually went with instead of Live, Die, Repeat. I think I went with Eyes Wide Shut, which I think
that's
he's
a great
like
one.
great in. Yeah.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
brought up the Carfax guy. We didn't mention that he's the trailer for the movie he's going to be in.
Indiana. Oh. Go
No,
ahead.
Indiana Jones
Just-
meets Matlock meets Carfax.
He's Carfax.
Yeah, they're turning it into a franchise like immediately. It's pretty
Yeah.
ambitious.
Yeah.
Like they're releasing them at the same time.
But it's weird because Indiana Jones meets Matlock and Matlock meets Carfax, but Indiana Jones never meets Carfax. Because
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's like some false, they don't want to get sued for false advertising
Yeah.
because
It's in the trailer. There's just text on the screen that says Indiana Jones will not meet Carfax in this movie. And-
well, that was a disclaimer on all the movies we saw.
Yeah, which is strange. Which was strange because
It was
I
weird.
didn't expect Indiana Jones to be in Red One.
No, I didn't. It
No.
was really
And
distracting.
he's not in it. But Carfax
the text
is
was
in
there.
Red One.
Yeah.
And he might be the Red One they're talking
Oh,
about.
because he's a little red
He's a Red Fox, yeah.
Red One. The titular Red One. It's the code name they use for Santa.
Santa. Oh, that's right, too.
yeah.
That's also a thing.
Which is like
That's also part of the movie.
it's also part of the movie where they're like basically like Callum Drift, the Rock's character is basically like the head of the Secret Service, and so they are like Santa's security.
He gets big and
He's
small,
retiring.
like Ant-Man.
This is what I was going to say. It's like you can't quite wrap your head around like, are they going for Wakanda technology? Are they going for Christmas magic? Like what is going on that governs the rules of this? It's kind of science fiction. It's kind of Marvel action. It's kind of like just straight fantasy at times. But like he's got like a device that lets him embiggen things. So like, the Wally and Irma, thing, the cat.
Oh my
cat
God, we could
figurines.
embiggen them into being
Could
Wally
embiggen
and
them
Irma
being
here.
Wally and Irma, and they'd come to life. He's got like a thing that,
He
but he
changes
can also
their reality.
he changes their reality, but he could also change the reality
Mitch
of
does that
himself,
with his dick.
adjust his own reality where he can.
Jesus. Amelia.
Sorry.
This reminds me of the time I went to the Microsoft Theater.
So he embiggens things and smalls them, and he can also do it to himself. So like he'll be fighting someone, and then he shrinks himself so he can run between their legs, and then pops himself back up and punches them. And it's kind of a cool idea. It is very Ant-Man, but I'm also like, what are this guy's powers exactly? They established that he's like 500 years old.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Are you? I guess you're not a man. You're some sort of mystical being.
He's an elf. I think he is an elf.
He is an elf.
Yeah.
But like then there's also like the elves who actually look like little Yodas.
Yeah, and then
which
there's
is confusing.
trolls.
There's trolls who are like
which didn't make any. They were like computer trolls.
they were computer trolls.
Yeah.
It's just I mean that's just like a joke from like 15 years ago that a troll would be an actual troll.
Yeah.
And also like trolls with Santa. What?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I would wanted the movie to have a little bit. I feel so bad that Amelia likes this, and I'm saying bad stuff about it. It's
No,
like
don't
how
feel
I
bad.
feel.
I love this.
It's like it's difficult for me if I go to see a movie with somebody and we have mixed opinions for me to share my dissenting opinion a lot of times because I feel like it's a little like somebody being like, you know what? I pray and it does a lot for me. And then I'm like, God is phony, man.
Right, yeah.
I don't mean to be like that guy.
Oh,
but-
there's a man in the sky who helps you with your problems.
Oh, and he looks like
Okay.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
But I wanted the movie to have a little bit. I wanted the characters to have experience wonder more. That's kind of what I'm looking
the
for
whole
my
thing.
Christmas movie.
Everyone is like, this is normal to me.
Yeah.
Santa's a
the
military guy.
He's a military guy.
Yeah, that's no fun.
It's not fun.
He's an old crank. He's
No.
yeah.
He is very much like a J.K. Simmons. Like they show scenes of him lifting weights and being jacked as J.K. Simmons is in real life. But like your way in terms of, hey, this is this world of wonder, like, wow, all this majesty is the Chris Evans character. But because he's so grumpy / like kind of an anti-hero, you never have that sense of like, this is amazing. Christmas is real, you know?
Right. And then you're waiting. If it is that, then you want the other shoe to drop where it's like Scrooge. The best parts in any of the Scrooge adaptations are when Scrooge wakes up in the morning. He's like, "Oh God, I love Christmas. I'm going crazy about Christmas now." That's so you wanted that, and then I wanted the characters to experience wonder, but I wanted to experience wonder more. And to your point about the
My favorite part of the Scrooge movies is the banking.
oh, listen to this guy.
here we go.
I
Dollars
love
and
when he's
cents.
counting the coins.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Everything, only thing that's on his mind.
I'm gonna say this, and it's no offense to Amelia. Anyone who likes this movie is a pea-brain idiot. That's where I land on this movie.
Yeah. Wait, you were
No
saying
offense, Amelia.
you
None
were
taken.
you were going somewhere where like you want to have a sense of wonder yourself.
Yeah.
And then also what the North Pole is, and I mentioned Wakanda, it's got like all this like kind of like Atlantis sort of technology, you know, like retro future technology, but it's like kind of hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Because it's not what I think of in terms of like this is I mean, if they're going for something different than the established Christmas motif, that's fine, but like let's have some consistency there.
Well, and then the plot thing you were saying too, that there's so much plot of
Yeah.
like, there are people who are going to get punished who aren't on the naughty list,
right.
but the machines aren't working yet. We got to get the machines going, so we got to get Krampus. And my feeling when I guess this is PG-13, so it's not necessarily geared towards kids, but it's a Christmas movie. I wish more kids movies had the simplicity of a like a fairy tale.
Yeah, sure.
And the movies that are kids movies that I think really work are the ones that keep it simple, like E.T.
Oh my God,
reads
are you
like
kidding? Yeah.
a fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's sort of like this happens and this happens and that happens
Right.
and then it's the end. With this, I was like, as a kid, your eyes would start going all. They probably start spinning inside your head.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to figure out this story.
I know.
I agree. I agree
think that's
with
what makes it good. I think if you think about it, like you were talking about all the creatures earlier, how it's just like a hodgepodge of mythical creatures, trolls, headless horsemen, like all this stuff think of like Shrek, how they put all the
Yeah.
fairy tale
but
characters together. That's how.
yes, I agree.
And as to like this,
Shrek accomplishes what this movie is trying to accomplish, and in my
Yeah.
opinion, not succeeding.
correct, but I like that it doesn't succeed. If that makes sense. Like I like that it's bad.
Got it.
Like this is the type of movie that when you're going home to visit your family, you throw it on in the background. make some drinks. You're talking over it.
No, you
No,
don't.
you did
Yes, it is.
absolutely not.
You know
Yes.
what's putting this on.
This is the exact type. I would put this in the same category as Violent Night. Have you seen that? Starring
David Harbour.
David Harbour.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I did with Violent Night last year with my family. We just
That's
threw it
fun.
on.
I mean,
You know,
that's what I
made
love
some-
about a Christmas movie is they're taking the big swing of being like, this could be a future classic. That's like what's fun
Yeah,
about
sure.
I remember I saw 4 Christmases in theater. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a future Christmas classic. And it wasn't. Do you remember 4
Oh, I
Christmases?
remember Four
Christmases,
Christmases.
yeah.
Christmas with the Cranks. I remember that one.
Yeah.
There's a million movies I'd put on before Red One, which is hard to even tell is a Christmas movie by the title. Red One. It is. I'll say this. I
Yeah, it
agree with
should be
you.
called like They Kidnapped Santa.
Yeah, I mean I think that's a better title. I would like that more than Red One.
But the scheme of kidnapping Santa is, like we were saying, is bewildering because we haven't even mentioned Kiernan Shipka's character Grilla.
Don't say her name.
You say her
Whoa,
name,
whoa,
she
whoa.
appears.
She hears it,
She can hear
Wags.
her name wherever it said. But the
John Hamm's daughter from Mad Men,
yes,
which was kind of a real that she's like a young girl, right? Like it was like it felt.
she's in her 20s now, right?
Yeah, no, but wasn't it strange that it was Grilla?
Well,
was,
the whole thing is that she's like an immortal witch, and her
Yeah.
actual form is this giant ogre, which we see at the end.
When I
the
shared
giant
a bit
ogre
of
that Krampus used
trivia
to hook up with.
tidbit with Mitch that he had
Yeah.
never, he didn't know, she plays John Hamm's daughter on the show Mad Men, but in real life, she's John Hamm's mom.
That's wild.
Is that crazy?
Isn't that crazy?
yeah, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
So weird to think about.
Yeah. I know.
Well, but that's Hollywood for you. They're always casting
Yep.
older women as younger women in movies.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
always the thing.
Good point, Wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is crazy that she's John Hamm's mom.
It is crazy to think about because John
Mama
Hamm is
Ham.
like in his 50s.
Yeah.
So that
So
she would be like
she's had to be in her
probably
70s,
late
maybe 80.
50s.
She's late 50s at the earliest.
Yeah.
like she's
Yeah,
probably
late
older
50s
than
at
that.
the, at the very earliest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he's 54, she's probably like, what, 58?
She's got to be at least 58.
We got to say
Maybe
one
more
thing.
closer to 59.
She's probably 50.
Hey,
I'd say,
nice.
Nice.
Chris Evans' accent appears at one
Yes.
point during the movie. We were watching the movie, and at one point he's like, "What the fuck you want from me?" Eh? I mean, like it wasn't that, but he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then we looked at each other and we were like, "Did he have an accent?" We didn't hear an accent.
This is the shared observation. I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, okay,
it was
yeah.
we made a dog boner joke, but the thing that I noticed was there was a scene where he's talking to his kid, and he's like, "What do you want me to do here?" Like it was like
Yeah, yeah.
25 minutes into the movie, and I leaned over to Mitch, and Mitch was already coming at me, and I was like, "Does he have an accent now?" And Mitch was like, "I was just gonna say that."
it's so
the
so
accent
weird.
popped up. It was strange.
Really strange.
And it goes in and out the entire movie. The movie is the thing about the heart. They show like an old cottage, Santa's old house, and you think that like at the end, it's like, oh my god, look at this big corporation. There's a big tower. And you think at the end of the movie, like, oh, maybe they're gonna like move back it down into this little cottage.
yeah, we've scaled up too much. You know, we've lost the magic
We've
of
lost the
Christmas.
magic of Christmas.
But no, it's
There's no lesson of that at all. You just see Santa deliver things efficiently, like
Yes.
like a soldier.
he's doing parkour while he's still making all these deliveries. And yeah,
and
it's
it
the
looks
kind
like
of thing.
shit.
That was so funny, though. That was so good. That was my favorite part.
Him
Your
doing the
favorite part of the
deliveries?
movie is the ending
He was
where he's
doing-
delivering
And
gifts.
he was getting big and small and big and small, and
Going
he was
down
running
chimneys.
around.
I did like it, the cleverness of like it was bookending it. Like the very first scene was a kid being like, how would Santa be able to do that?
Yeah.
And then the last scene is this is how he would do it.
Yeah,
I
he-
thought
It's so funny, and
Or-
the fact that it wasn't done well is funny.
So there's an element of you liking this movie, knowing knowing on an objective level, it's like kind of a bad movie, but you just enjoy it for what it is.
100%.
As
Okay.
opposed to
I
three
can
men
wrap my head
in their
around that a little
40s
more.
who are criticizing a movie made for adolescents.
But I don't think kids would like this movie.
Yes,
is the whole
yeah.
thing. Like it's like I think there's an version of this that could be effective at what it's trying to do, and I just think like what we're up on there. Yes, Mitch, the messaging we ultimately land on is very like. I mean, it's the kind of thing you'd expect the company Amazon to make of just like, hey, we've created this gigantic infrastructure
Yes.
for global delivery of goods.
Let's keep it.
And that's a good thing, and we're gonna keep
Yeah.
it going, and it's gonna be even better. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And the Chris Evans thing too. he like he does have little kind of like funny one-liners here and there of like, wow, that was pretty disturbing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was always like the first take of a line reading that you would like. I was like, if you got a Bill Murray in there, they would be able to find a way to do something with one of those lines to make it as surprising. They were always a little rote. And then
this is just a larger Hollywood thing of like that kind of role used to go to a comedian and now it goes to like an action, actor like Chris Evans.
Yeah, I just thought those lines could have been funnier written, but at least more funny.
Yeah, let a comedian perform them. But also I think it speaks to both sides of it of like, because this came from an action movie sort of, a story team, then it doesn't have it leans more into the action. And this could have used like a bunch of round tables of people pitching a bunch of different jokes to throw into it. Maybe it had some of those, but what they ultimately settled on are a lot of times like the most obvious choice for how to like, that happened.
A great
that sort of
kids
thing.
movie would have been, kids are trying to rescue Santa.
Right.
They're the only ones who can do it because they're pure of heart.
And his kid does come into it, but he comes in pretty late.
But that's the point. We're all still kids.
What if right at that point, all three of us like shrunk down to little kids? We're like, "Wait, that's not true, Amelia."
No difference.
You looked at your
Mitch
little
looked at
penis.
his small dick.
It's bigger.
Yeah,
somehow.
I'm like, the difference is it's bigger.
I could get used to this.
I did like those three. The two parts I liked is when he threw out those rings and he made something. Like I was like, oh.
Yeah, we liked that.
And then when he got small and big during the fight.
Yeah, getting small and big.
Yeah,
cool.
that was good.
It is weird that Jeff Bezos plays one of the little kids in the beginning of the movie.
That is weird.
It is weird because he's like he's just himself.
He's just playing himself.
He's just playing himself.
Well, there was a
basically.
little hint of a little reference they made to give you a nudge to let you know who it was.
Oh,
because the parents come in and they go, "Okay, kids, bath time," and he goes, "Jeff, bathe, no." Jeff bathe, no.
that is, that's right. Because at that moment I was like, "Wait a minute, is that? Oh my God,
That's who it is.
That's
Jeff
who
Bezos.
it is.
Jeff
That's why they
Bezos.
did it.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. No.
And his real name is Jeff Bathe, though.
Yeah,
He changed it.
He changed it.
I mean, that's like whatever.
Also, I made this complaint before, this nitpick on
Mhm.
Doughboys before about Elf, how the problem that people are losing their belief in Santa and my sleigh can't run. Elf is great. It's weird that they would have that problem of people aren't believing in Santa when it's like, well, when parents wake up on Christmas morning and there's gifts there from Santa that they didn't buy themselves, they would go like, okay,
Weird.
this is strange.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only explanation I can give it is either there's an intruder who's doing this kind of thing,
Right.
or Santa does
Or
exist.
Santa's real. Yeah.
Therefore, there shouldn't be any loss.
Right.
Same thing with the red one. There was always kind of this thing of like, people are getting too cynical. And I'm like, how cynical can you get that you wake up and there's gifts that you didn't pay for?
Right.
Are there in the morning? Jesus Christ.
I agree with you. And also, I do just want to say, it was the pain though. Well, just thinking on it, I'm like, oh, it's really weird that the parent didn't want the kid to take a bath. Why did the parent say bathe no?
No, the kid did.
No, that was Jeff.
The kid said
Yeah,
that.
now it makes sense, right?
You miswatched the scene. You were unclear on which character spoke.
The parents are like, bath
Yeah,
time.
no, I got it.
And
then
little Jeff Bezos
it was
goes,
Jeff Bezos
bathe
saying,
no,
no.
and everybody laughs. Like, we get
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then,
that's
because
right.
then remember they're like, but you still have to get undressed. They say it to him all mean,
Yeah.
and then he does it, and he's like sad. And
Yeah.
he just stands there nude for like a full minute.
A digitally altered Jeff Bezos to look like a naked 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And he looked down, he was like, but the difference is it's bigger.
He was still jacked too, was the other
He's still
thing.
jacked.
He was still
Yeah.
pretty
He's a very
jacked.
buff
Yeah.
little boy.
Look, Paul said a thing that made me not want to talk about the movie anymore. Is when he said the 3 40-year-olds saying this movie actually isn't good. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Hey, who gives a shit about
But it
this
does
movie?
suck.
It
It
does
is bad.
suck. It's
It
a
does
bad
suck.
movie. It's a bad movie. There's plenty of children's movies that are good.
Yes, I think
And-
the thing is, kids, if they did see it, they probably wouldn't go home like being like, "Can we go back next week and see Red One
Yes.
again?"
No, I think they'd
Right?
be bored or confused.
And I also
Or
think that
scared.
the issue is they might be scared. They might be little pussies.
I think Krampus. I think they might be little pussies, but also I think if you're like 6 years old, the Krampus character design in this is like that's scary. It looks like
And the Krampus
a big
schlock.
black devil. It's like terrifying, you know. So I could see kids legitimately. And again, a lot of parents are not going to want to hear their kids have their kids hear say shit, hear shit a bunch. They don't want their kids
Yeah.
saying shit in the house, you know.
I agree with that.
So it's it's just so strange that they made this PG-13.
Yeah.
I agree, and also I think that there is an issue with kids' movies being so dumbed down, and then those kids grow up to be adults like Amelia and like these movies that are really bad.
I gave the movie 2.5 stars on Letterboxd.
Okay,
And my
that's pretty-
review was, I'd let the polar bear rail me.
Oh my god,
Jesus. Garcia?
Garcia!
I wonder if he's got a red one, Garcia. He might have like a dog. Do polar bears have red dicks like dogs? Who knows?
We'll find out.
We'll find out in
let
Red
us
One
know.
Part 2.
Yeah. Let us know when you send in your new middle name for Santa if polar bears have red dicks.
I'm googling it right
Googled
now.
They don't have red rockets.
That's what they're called, Red Rockets. Not red ones.
Like lipstick.
Yeah.
Yes. I had a neighbor kid whose dog would hump pillows.
Yeah.
And him and his sister would refer to it as humpifying. Oh, look at Peaches. He's humpifying the pillow. And then Peaches would walk away from the pillow. And then there'd be
Oh my
No.
god.
what was his name? That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm like, it wasn't Peaches. Oh my God. There's going to be an uproar online. But when the dog would walk away from the pillow, there'd be a little wet spot. And, kids do things to make
Yeah.
each other laugh. This kid whose dog he owned, he would go and he'd smell the wet thing and go, "Oh, it stinks." And it'd crack us all up.
You told me you've
I told
you
you
told
this.
me the story.
I think I've heard this
I've
story
heard this
What's weirder, that the kid did it or that I, 30 years later, have told this story multiple times?
If you
It's all
Google,
great.
do polar bears have red rockets? Google answers no, polar bears don't have red rockets. But here are some interesting facts about polar
That's what
bears.
I got.
It tries to change the subject.
Yeah, like a very patient first date where somebody was like, "Do you think polar bears have red rockets?" You're like, "No, but here's some interesting facts I know about polar bears. If we could get off the red rocket stuff."
Now,
What is the hog situation? I think it's a pretty standard hog, right?
what animals have red rockets? Dogs.
Cats.
Cats?
Cats.
Oh yeah, Wally did hump Irma once.
And they're brother and sister from the same litter.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Ooh.
gotta put
I
a
was.
stop to
I don't
that.
condone it.
Yeah.
I was pissed off at him. I said, "This is disgusting." All right, polar bear penis. That's what I'm gonna look. Right
Okay,
now.
great.
Polar bear express, polar bear penis. Here we go.
The Polar Bear Express or the Polar Express?
Yeah, the Polar Express is his own
Polar
thing.
Bear Express.
Wow, Wags.
Yeah.
It's a white rocket.
Whoa.
Well, that's what you're showing, and for audio listeners, these are detached specimens.
From a museum?
Detached
Yeah.
specimens. They are detached specimens. It wasn't a picture of a polar bear's dick. Well,
Which I was
actually, wait, there
hoping
is
to see.
one. Is that his dick? No, I can't tell.
That is what comes up when you Google it.
There are a few. Do I have to turn off the safe search? Why can't I see it? Hold on. We're going to find one.
Okay, great.
Chemical pollution lowers bone density in polar bear penises.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Wait, they have an actual
Oh,
bone in
honey.
there?
The polar bears have a bone inside their
They have
penis.
a bone in their
They have a
boner?
literal boner.
They have
Wow.
literal boner.
Whoa.
To keep an erection going, and that pollution is causing the bones to weaken to the point where the bones are breaking.
Wow.
Oh, don't even make me think about that, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good excuse for next time. Sorry, babe, but
The pollution.
the pollution in the Arctic. It's happening to polar bears too. Ask them.
All right. What should we?
Don't worry, it happens to a lot of polar bears.
Wait, what? You want to
should-
try to end the episode?
Yeah. Let's end the episode. What should we rate this out of?
1.
Polar bear dicks.
One. Okay.
On a
Let's rate.
scale of red 1 to
Five.
red
Let's rate
10.
this on a scale of
detached polar bear dicks.
red 1 to red 10. I like that scale.
Oh, red 1 to red 10 is good.
I will give this a red 1. I think this is a really bad movie. I don't want to watch it again. A red 1 out of 10. Paul, what do you think?
I'll give it a red 2.5.
Oh, that's
wow,
nice.
that's
Okay.
pretty good.
In Letterboxd, it's 1 to 5, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So by that, I give it I give it 5.
You give it a red
booms.
5.
I give it 5 red.
Boom. 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 Boom.
It is long when you do that. It is long.
It takes a while.
You know that this is true in the original Candyman. This is not a joke. They were gonna, instead of saying Candyman, is it 5 times?
I think it's 3
3?
times in the movie. Yeah.
It was gonna be 13.
Oh wow, that's
and
a
then
lot.
they did a table read, and then when people started, they're like, "Oh my god, this is crazy! This is
Yeah.
gonna be so boring."
Yeah, 3 was the right choice.
Yeah, I mean,
13
is
is kind of funny. That is funny. That is like a.
Do you remember this is a thing on the 13? Do you remember the movie 13 Ghosts, the remake of the old? I actually think it was a Disney movie, 13 Ghosts, the Matthew Lillard 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
But the trailer for 13 Ghosts, our old improv pal Jim Woods used to talk about this,
Oh.
where it'd be like, what's scarier than 1 ghost? 2 ghosts. What's scarier than 2 ghosts? 3 ghosts. What's scarier than 3 ghosts? 13 ghosts. Just skipped all of them.
And then also, don't ask what's scarier than 13 ghosts. Conversation over. When you started doing that, I thought you were going to go through all the numbers. Do you
Yeah.
remember when you were a kid in class and you'd have a guest or something, and people start telling jokes to make the grown-up laugh or
Yeah, sure.
whatever, and then some kid would go, knock, knock, who's there? Banana. And you're like, okay, so we got to fucking wait 5 minutes for this asshole to finish up. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, the ordeal.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Drive me
That's
crazy.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off now, actually.
Mitch, what do you score this out of red 1 to red 10?
I give this red 1.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a
thought
red
it was
0.
really bad.
It's really bad.
It's one of the worst movies I've seen this year, definitely. I mean, like, I think it's got to be my bottom 5. I think I still like Joker 2 less.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
Borderlands was really bad. This is rough though.
Alien
Hey, not to be a
Romulus did not like Romulus.
Connie contrarian.
Yeah.
I really like Joker too.
You like Joker 2.
So
Yeah.
did Nicole Byer.
So did Nicole Byer.
Yeah.
Wow, the 2 people who love Joker 2 we've had on Doughboys.
Oh
That's
wow.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of jokes.
What
2
did you
funny
like about
people.
I just hadn't seen a movie like it before.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
just appreciative of the it's a big budgeted, well crafted. It looks great.
Yeah, sure. It's got great
And
production design.
but it was strange, and so getting to see like a big budget studio movie that's bizarre was made it fun. I hadn't seen anything like it.
It seems like the movie Todd Phillips wanted to make and was like, "Hey, this is my excuse to make a big budget musical." So I'm with the joke, like I have the Joker IP, and so that gives me leeway to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, on that from that standpoint, you kind of got to admire the swing.
And there's a
did not connect with me though.
Yeah, there's a grand tradition of the Warner Brothers is making is going to pay us for a sequel, so let's just do what we want.
Right.
You got Gremlins 2.
That's true.
You got Batman Returns.
Oh yeah.
That's great company to be in.
Yeah.
The Matrix sequel is that, but it wasn't a necessarily good version. But I do like those.
The twins.
Twins Part 2.
No,
You're just referencing the twins from
Matrix.
Gremlins 2.
I do like those twins too. I love the
Wait,
twins.
that's not what you're
I
referencing?
love the twins in Gremlins too, but I like the twins in Matrix.
Okay,
too.
sure.
I found Gremlins 2 is actually the best comparison to Joker 2 because they were both kind of like
They both have a
F you
Bugs-
pay me movie, and they both open with like animated Looney
Mhm.
Tunes inspired segments and stuff. But when she set the piano on fire and took his hand and ran out of. I was very moved.
That was the best sequence. The
Yeah.
fire is the best sequence. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that happens, like 30, 40 minutes into the
Yeah.
movie. And I was like, okay, now we're going. And then I felt like it just like everything was at a dead stop. After
Yeah,
that.
I hear you. It's definitely not.
Hey, man, not don't want to yuck your yum. Just,
Yeah. Well, I felt like
glad you
I was
liked it.
yucking yum.
No, you can
No,
do
I
that.
love it,
You can
yeah.
do that all you want with red wine.
The
Did you see-
fire was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
All right, Beavis.
Did you see Megalopolis?
I did. I saw it in the same theater that I saw Red One. At.
Did you like Megalopolis?
For the same reason, I liked that it was. You know what? My least favorite thing about going to the movies nowadays
What is that?
is things look like shit.
Yeah.
Just if things were made on film, even like you watch like a Pauly Shore movie, and just the fact that it's made on film, you're like, hey, this looks great.
With real locations.
Yeah,
And like,
Wait,
and-
hold on. You didn't like the scene where The Rock is chasing the van when Santa gets kidnapped and he's running through the North Pole Village?
Yeah,
The gloopy
Yeah, it's all
scene where
goop.
he's
It's all CG
all
goop.
goopy.
and and his body is
There's no
moving
sense
all
of
weird.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
No physics. Yeah, no. There's like I feel like I watched a Japanese movie from the 70s, Golgo 13, recently, and it was one of those things where it's like clearly not like a big budget movie, but just the fact that they were filming they were like out in the desert, like filming
Yeah.
these real practical spaces. Even it was just like, oh, this feels like it has life to it. So
it
yeah,
feels like a movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like a Loaded Weapon 1 I recently watched, which was a pretty dog shit movie,
Yeah.
but it was like made on film with locations, and if there was extras that needed to be happen, there was actually like 30 people on
right.
the
They had to get
street.
those people. They couldn't digitally replicate the
Yeah.
same,
And
whatever.
sometimes they
CG
won't
dummies.
they have those capabilities and they don't even digitally replicate a crowd a lot of times. I was like watching Harold the Purple Crayon, and there's a huge fight sequence in the park at the end, and there's no passerbys.
Right.
It's really
Is
strange.
that the Harold and Kumar sequel?
Yes. Kumar's turned into a purple crayon.
I got too high.
good.
So that it was yes, the bummer of going to a movie a lot of times now is that it doesn't just look beautiful. But then the other thing is just the formula storytelling.
Yes, right.
Of just like
We have this flow chart of how a movie is supposed to progress. We have the template that we got from Save the Cat that we like as executives insist is applied to all screenplays
Yes.
that we approve.
And
Yeah.
so the part I'm dreading is the moment around like 75 minutes, 80 minutes when things arbitrarily are at their worst. And then things got to not be so bad.
Right.
I'm like always dreading that part. And with Megalopolis, it wasn't a formula movie.
No.
Every scene was different, and it was entertaining and compelling. I mean, as a whole, it was not great.
I think
but,
it's batshit and I think it's a mess, but I can't call it like a bad movie because it's just such a weird object.
Yeah,
And I
or
love
a formula
that-
movie.
and not a formulaic movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you, and I don't know if you picked up on this, Aubrey Plaza's character in the movie is named Wow
my
Platinum.
God.
Yes, that was a Doughboys reference.
I thought that might be a Doughboys reference because we say wow when we have the Platinum Plate Club.
Yeah, well, because you're both a couple of
goofballs.
goofballs. Yeah.
I can't believe you did that at an hour and 50 minutes.
All right,
into the episode.
we gotta end the episode. Paul, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching Red
thank
One.
you.
And it's always a delight to have you on the podcast.
We
My
love
pleasure.
you. The funniest person in the world.
Anytime you
We
guys
love you,
want me
buddy.
to come, I'm happy to come here, and I love you guys too.
We gotta come. We gotta have you back in the main feed. We gotta do another restaurant review. We gotta
Sure.
and we'll figure that out. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
The With Gorley and Rust podcast. Also, a snow flavored treat that's maybe more entertaining than Red One. I do a voice on this cartoon called The Great North that takes place in Alaska.
Mhm.
All the episodes are on Hulu and Disney Plus, but it's a funny show.
Wow.
Will you come
Platinum.
back? Will you come back when we review Indiana Jones meets Matlock?
Of course.
All right, good,
I
good,
thought that
good.
was assumed.
And hey, you could join us at the premiere of Indiana Jones Meets Matlock if you send in Santa's middle name. So make sure you send it, and you can win the Red One bucket as well. We'll see you next time on Doughboys Double. Do, do, do.
Do,
Do, do, do.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Doughboys Media.